and more viable. And now I think this is going to be our first chance at really witnessing what you can do with a Viper in top level Valorant.
This is either going to be one of the greatest decisions ever, or one like the worst mistake. What's that meme? Like, this is where he messed up. Like, it's going to be that. You know, it's a little bit more R-rated than that, but you guys know what I mean. He's got lineups too.
You need a little beat button. Of course he's going to have lineups. If he's playing Viper on this map, you have to have your lineups for the one-ways, as there's going to be the opener from Dapr, and unfortunately the lineup and the start, the Dream Viper, is not going to be there, as Tenz gets taken out whilst he is trying to just suss things out over towards B side.
Well, we'll just have to wait for the next round, children, okay? We're not going to get it quite yet. So we'll see what they are able to do now that Tenz is going to be out. You lose Viper, but most importantly, you lose one of your top players already at the start, the first blood.
You lose quite a significant smoke that was kind of put towards B, but now it is going to be the push from middle up to A. They're going to go up vent here, but they're going to be walking straight into Sinatraa, who has boombots, he has flashbacks, and he's done so much damage. He's ripping through them right now. He gets a 3K, and that is definitely not where you wanted to go. You did not want to head into a raise there with all of a utility still available. Not the start that Cloud9 wanted.
Oh dear. Oh boy. That is not good. That is not good.
And again, we see the power of saving utility just that extra little bit longer. How many times at the start of rounds do you see a boombot just sent down middle or sent down long or sent towards B just to try and gain information? Sinatraa knows that if he can save that a little bit longer, you can get kills with it.
And he got a double with the boombot too. That's getting a kill with the boombot is one thing, but a double is just a whole other can of worms. All right, so now let's go ahead and reset here. Because we're back into this one. Relyks is now just going to be pushing up, and there's a kind of a precarious position that Relyks has found himself in. Also seeing a weird situation with Relyks playing this role. Tenz, though, will be true with that Sheriff. Mitch does get cleaned up by ShahZaM's Bulldog. ShahZaM is going to be in the corner there. Vice makes quick work of him. The nade comes in, 2 kills. Oh my goodness, Sinatraa, please stop blowing them up and let me finish my sentence.
Did you see how quick Relyks was able to get up ramp there, though, using the blast packs? Like, that is going to be something that Sentinels need to keep an eye on. They need to make sure that they don't get caught off guard by that, because Relyks is going to try and take advantage.
But he did, and it didn't matter.
Well, he only had the pistol, right? Maybe he shouldn't have shown his cards that early, because now they know it's a possibility. But if it had worked and they'd been able to get a kill with it and been able to win the round, then great. At least they did a little bit of damage to the economy, but now it means that we're going to see plenty of rifles on the side of Sentinels here.
Still very much early days here on Split. Relyks does get on top. Yeah, he's back on this position again. But it seems like he just got through here normally. And Relyks working the same exact wall is being played too. A typical wall to block off the heaven location, as well as that ramp spot too, give you a clean push. Meanwhile, the mid has become accessible. Sinatraa, who hasn't used an ounce of his utility, did actually shoot a shot there. If he gets paint shells, that could be big. Oh, that paint shell just did not bounce where he wanted it to go. That's going to be a little awkward, but he'll back away. For the time being, Heaven will be in the presence of Cloud9.
They can push onto this site now pretty comfortably, but they have to get rid of Cypher traps and actually get rid of a Cypher too. Dapr is there alongside Sick, and it is just cleanup crew at this point. Here comes Tenz, who does have a chance to try and salvage this round. He does get the opener, but there's going to be players coming from behind, and he's going to be stuck on site on his own, and he's not going to be able to do a 1 versus 5. No ace for Tenz. No incredible Viper plays just yet. 3-0 in Cloud9. Back to square one with their money, and also back to square one with their ideas of trying something again.
And it's not necessarily that Viper's being shut down. It's just the entire team being neutralized. Even with Sinatraa having a bit of a flub there, it didn't really matter. They were there to support him, have his back, and thus they profited greatly for that one, winning 3 in a row. Back to pistols they go. Sheriffs again. Pete came in from Dapr.
One of my biggest takeaways from that round was just how defensive Sentinels were. They completely sat back and allowed Cloud9 to have mid control, and I think that was them just respecting the possibilities of Cloud9 and knowing how aggressive they can be and how successful they can be with their pushes. And I think that's important. It's recognizing when they have to just slightly hold back and watch some more defensive angles. They just give up a little bit of control on this map.
Split is such an annoying map to play attack on. If you just don't have that confidence, the way that Sentinels have been able to successfully hold this one down quite a few times. Relyks, though, does get the kill. Sinatraa now going to be rotating here alongside with Sick. Last pack is out. Sick has his buddies back. They're going to just look for this last player here tucked away inside of the anime area. Ramen anime, whatever you guys want to call it. They're just flying at him. 4 rounds straight for Sentinels. They're looking good, and they're letting them know what's going on, what the business really is.
And again, though, we can look at how important the pistol round could have been for Cloud9. This could be 2-2 now instead of 4-0.
True.
And it means that when they go into their defensive half, they really have to win the pistol there. So already they're putting themselves under pressure, just losing that pistol round in the first half. But now they've got an op to work with. We've got Mitch on the op, and we know what Mitch can do. Both him and Shinobi have yet to find a kill in this game, so they'll be looking to step it up. I mean, actually, if you look at it's not really been a good first 4 rounds for anyone on Cloud9, except maybe Tenz, who was able to get a couple of cleanup kills. Can they get the opening pick with this op, which would be so beneficial for them to pushing on to either of these sites?
I don't know if Dapr went for the poke, but Mitch does get aggressive there in garage. Relyks is hiding away inside of the sewer, and ShahZaM finds him right outside. The connection is beautiful. ShahZaM finds the target, gives them the man advantage. Now let's see what their opper can do potentially as Mitch backs away. ShahZaM's going to be making his way over toward A site just to support the Omen. Vice on the lurk again.
How different Sentinels approached that round. They said, previous round, we'll give you mid control. That round, we are taking it from you, and we're forcefully positioning ourselves to make it so difficult for you to be able to rotate if you have gone for a default.
Oh no. ShahZaM, he does the magic the only way ShahZaM can. Goes right over with the updraft and just a basic but beautiful kill there. Vice unaware of what was going on, just like the way the Sinatraa might actually catch a few here. Does get the intel, backs away, doesn't invest anything into it. Let the Boombot go ahead and handle that, and let them go ahead and shoot that instead. Finally, they're going to get onto the site. Shinobi and Relyks get themselves 2 kills, but Relyks looks away, and Sick is going to get that kill instead. One player, it's Mitch. Only one left alive. A classic and no hope to get that spike down. Sentinels are running away with this one, Gaskin. It is getting really scary. Perhaps we got a little bit ahead of ourselves, and maybe Christmas is canceled for you, my friend.
I mean, like, the Viper should really be demonstrating what she has to offer on the defensive side. Yes, okay, she can do a lot offensively as well, but she should shine when you're defending on split. So I'm not going to count out the Viper being beneficial just yet. There is still plenty left in this game. It's certainly not over, and it is split, and Sentinels are very good at split. So this 5-0, yes, it looks bad for Cloud9, but they still have the ability to get back into it. What they can't allow is Sentinels to continuously manipulate them into just saying, hey, we're going to take mid, we're going to leave mid, we're going to take mid. That little 2-step that they're having right now, they need to be decisive as to where they're going to go, because otherwise Sentinels are going to take full advantage of that, and it's going to be complete mind games throughout the rest of this game.
And one of the players that have been leading the charge with those mind games has been Sinatraa. He's played different positions pretty much every single round. It has been heaven for the better part of it, but he has been successful in thwarting any of their pushes that might actually come through. Also, credit to Dapr for just baiting those shots. Gets 2. That's 2 players down. Tenz and Relyks. You get anything out of this one, it will be a plus. Spike is out of play, and Vice is going to be all the way in yonder.
I'm going to highlight it again. The Boombot usage from Sinatraa is very different from what you'll see in a typical game of Valorant. You'll see the Boombot used early so often. He doesn't. He keeps it because he knows how much information he can get from it. His Boombot is essentially his entry fragger, right? He is just a supporting fragger with it. He sends in the Boombot, knows that people have to look at it, and then he is there to just clean up afterwards.
In basketball, they would call that the sixth man, you know, just a person that's reliable. You can count on them to get you a few jumpers, a few points on the board, bring you back into the game, you know. Not necessarily like the star of the show, but
you and Moses love your basketball references, huh?
You know, it just fits right now because his name's Gary. That's what I've named him.
Not
Hiko
Hiko's
calls
child?
him child. No,
yeah, exactly.
That's Hiko's thing. He calls him child. I call him Gary.
This is a huge round though now, GB. Money back on the side of Cloud9, and look at all of the ultimates. Every single member of Cloud9 has an ult available. If they don't win this round, this would be so detrimental to their chances of winning this game.
It has to happen. Oh.
Okay.
Viper's Pit from back here. So from where the origin of the Viper Pit is going to go, it will pass through the wall, I believe. Yes, it's enough.
Slightly.
It's enough for him to get through it. Oh, but Shinobi's actually going to run in. Wait a minute. No, Zombs is there. Zombs is there. Zombs is there. Zombs gets 2. Oh, man, that is just a heartbreaker. He pokes out right at the nick of time, and it was a smart play with that Viper's Pit. The issue was Zombs held the corner, and they were pre-firing it just because they knew that someone was going to be creeping that, because that was the weakness of that Viper's Pit. But they were just a little too early on where they were shooting. Zombs had already gotten to that corner. The timing was off.
Right. Chat, I know you're all going to be spamming how bad Viper is for this map now, and you're going to be saying, lolly, pick Viper.
There you go,
respect
the Viper
them for
Defense
trying
Force.
to do something a little bit different in a map where they already knew they had a disadvantage, right? They've tried to shake things up here. Again, still not over, but that round, considering the amount of ultimates that are available, considering they've used the Viper's Pit, that was a big play from them. That's something that they've obviously strategized, they've talked about before, and it didn't work out for them. That is not going to help for their confidence going forward in their Viper plays, because if plan A has just failed, and it has failed badly there, I'm going to be completely honest, then how is plan B going to fare?
Well, plan B is so far so good. Tenz needs to be careful. Sinatraa followed up on the kill. Dapr goes down, but Sinatraa has his back. They'll bring him back, though.
Okay.
All the way in the back, it's Sinatraa. A connection onto Relyks will be good enough. ShahZaM gets aggro inside, doesn't get the shot. You almost could have happened. Sick brings back Sinatraa into the fold. He does have a showstopper. Can be a bit of a nuisance for this team to deal with. Zombs waiting in the wings, right at the edge, spikes down, drop down, job is done. Tenz gets 3 kills.
This is clever. Hop in the orb just to try and make them think that he's still on site while still watching this angle at the defender side spawn. 2 versus 2, and Cloud9 need this round, but Showstopper is popped here, GB, and he's gonna get a kill with it. That's gonna be the 3rd, and Tenz can't manage to do anything from that defender's doorway. Sentinels with an 8-0 lead here, and we said how much are they gonna need? Moses said 5, you said, well, they got 4 last time. I'm even wondering whether they're gonna get any at this point.
Yeah, because the difference between Renegades and Sentinels, it's worlds apart. It's like vanilla versus strawberry. We know what's the better ice cream. Strawberry.
I mean, I don't trust you for tastes of things, considering you think cornflakes are one of the best cereals, so I worry about your taste buds.
It's a fact.
And I also worry for this buy here for Cloud9. They've just got pistols. This is going to be 9-0 unless they do anything dramatic, and considering they haven't been able to get onto sites effectively with guns, I really don't think they're going to be able to do anything with just pistols. We would need a mistake, really, from Cloud9 here. Sorry, a mistake from Sentinels to allow Cloud9 to get onto a site and even get a plant down.
So that talk screen is in a diagonal cut across, but
toxins going up. Toxin screen down.
Oh, he's juggling this one. Oh, interesting play. I actually thought that Dapr was going to go in for that challenge a bit faster. He's juggling that talk screen, throwing him off constantly. Relyks has no blast packs to work with. Sinatraa does back away right at that exact moment, and that is going to give Vice the ability to go in and get that kill. Site will be taken over here, but Sick could play spoiler. Doesn't end up happening. Shinobi lands the shots with the ghost. One player's going to be outside, and they need these wins. Gaskin, this is it.
Headshot.
This is it indeed. I mean, I said it would have to be a mistake from Sentinels, and maybe just allowing that one player onto site was enough, and just losing that early pick. Now it's all going to come down to Zombs. It's a 1 versus 4. I mean, of course he's going to go for it because of the amount of money they've got. But now rifles have been acquired by Cloud9, and we're potentially looking at their first round of the game here, and it's massive because it was a pistol round. It's when they didn't have money. Okay, they did use an ultimate, they did use Showstopper, which can be a round-winning ultimate. But this is going to be great as just a little bit of a confidence booster. If they can string a few rounds after this now, maybe they can get back into this game. I know it's going to be a hard task, but there is a possibility.
Yeah, they need to get away with these guns. There's no reason for them to try and go on the hunt. So, a thrifty round win. But it came 8 rounds later. Yikes.
But it is split, right? And for all the arguments of is it defensive heavy, is it attacking heavy, when you get a team like Sentinels, of course they are going to make this look defensive heavy. If Cloud9 have the same defense, there's no reason why they can't come back into this game in the second half and do exactly what Sentinels have just done to them. It's going to come down to the pistol, and they need to make sure they win that pistol when we get there. But this Viper pick still could be absolutely huge from Tenz, because from a defensive point, there's so many one-way smokes you can actually pop up that can really make or break a game.
Chad, I don't know if you've caught wind of it, but Gaskin really is big on the Viper. Okay, Mitch. Look at that first frag to start it off. I do appreciate your... the whole time, Gaskin's just been like, but they're not out of it yet. It'll be like 12-1. They're still not out of it. Still an opportunity. That Viper can come online. Isn't that literally my
job, Alex?
I mean, you know, look, I respect it. At some point, this has not gone very well, but you might be right. They could be playing for that defense. They just need maybe 3 rounds out of this, and that's a plus. But you're playing with fire in a grand final, and arguably one of the biggest grand finals that we've ever had.
Look, I'm just trying to keep the hopes of Cloud9 fans alive, because it is possible. I'm not saying they're definitely going to get back into this game, although now I've just said it and someone could clip it. But they have the possibilities to do so. But you're right, they do need at least a few rounds here on their attacking half, because otherwise it would just be a pistol round away from Sentinels not only winning this map, but winning this tournament.
Okay, well, here comes the execute. Zombs doesn't get the kill, and now the neural theft is out, so they'll win out A site. Huge win for them here. Tenz. Oh, man. He looked away at, like, the worst moment, just seconds, milliseconds, and he might have been able to get one more kill there.
Almost like he had too much information.
I know exactly where you are.
Now they're just going to have to burst out of this one, but in doing so, they're going to run in right into the scope of Mitch. Gets a shot through the wall. Dapr pushing right through this ramp, doing his due diligence and checking those corners. Vice is suspicious that one more could be there as well. The shots are being sent out. It's Sick, the last player standing inside of the dark cover. He just decides to send some bullets. It will work out, but it's just getting so close. They're going to back out of this one. Good try, Sick. If you could have like hugged the wall, maybe it would have worked, but...
Just slightly like phased into the wall. Maybe. You know what? When people ask me like what agent would I like to see, I think I would like something that can phase through walls. I don't know how broken that would be.
No.
No, you don't think so? Okay, well that's just in my brain.
Or a teleport, like a
You've got
like Overwatch, like no, but like an Overwatch teleport. You know, I'm sorry, not Overwatch teleport. Shadowrun. It was the game I used to play back in the day, where like you used to be able to teleport through walls.
Well, 8-2 and 2 rounds is at least something here for Cloud9, and maybe they can get on a little bit of a roll here and potentially get to 3, even 4. But they have to have some flawless executes, just like the one we saw previously, and it all comes down to those opening frags, winning that first angle that you check, GB. Zombs could have won that round for Sentinels, and he's been pretty on fire throughout this series, but just in that one situation, without the Pika's advantage, he wasn't able to survive.
How different this could have been. Cloud9, their confidence would have been in shambles at that point. They had that site completely open and available to them. So last round gave us an A hit. Vice is just going to lurk around there. Mitch has been instrumental in bringing them back into this game, Gaskin.
Well, that's the thing. They haven't had the money to get the ops on them. Like, they had one round where he had the op, and that round just went to tatters. And ever since, they weren't able to build up an economy. But now they're finally getting economy together, and you can really see how the op can make a difference on the side of Cloud9.
Just got to check this corner. So Tenz with the kill. Watch out for those grenades. They go down. Sick has the angle, though. Mitch is there again for another one. He's been good for this the entire time. He has to play around Tenz here. That player was going to be hanging out right by that wall. Doesn't end up working out for them. And hey, Cloud9 gets 3 in a row. Okay. This is the best possible scenario for Cloud9 here.
And for
Given just how
Cloud9,
bad this half has been for them.
it's bad, but then at 8-4, suddenly you're like, okay, they've done all right there. And if we had looked at a half where it had kind of gone 2 rounds to Sentinels, 1 round to Cloud9, 2 rounds to Sentinels, 1 round to Cloud9, we'd probably be thinking Cloud9 were a little bit more comfortable in this game. But because they lost 8 on the bounce, it just looked way worse. But now they're looking a little bit better. They're starting to move together more of as a unit. They have a better plan in terms of when they're executing. There's a lot more kind of cohesion behind their pushes. And if they can get this 4th, and a lot of it could come down to Mitch on this op. He's done so well previously. And he knows that there are 2 players, or at least 1 player, that has got aggressive down middle here. So he just needs to feed that info to his team.
Tension is high here. This half has not been the best run for Cloud9, but these last 3 rounds, as Gaskin, you pointed out, that confidence, the strategy, what they've been working on has clearly been paying off. Some ults are going to be online too. Notice that Tenz, without the spike, is actually going to be located on the A side. Could have gotten picked there at that exact moment. Has Viper's Pit. Kind of surprised that he's not playing with the team. Viper's Pit would be great to lock down the site.
Yeah, but maybe he's going to go for the Viper's Pit on A here. Go for the bait. Like, try and make them think they're doing that play again. Oh, no.
The plan is all, it's done. It's done. They know exactly where they're going to be just because Sick held that angle. And he Viper's Pit over by the A site to go for that play again. Now, the confusion actually settles in here because they don't know that the Viper's Pit could be out, so they are going to go back. Instead, they hard commit onto the B site, which they will do so because they have no time remaining. Wall is down. Sinatraa has to get these kills here, just has a Spectre. ShahZaM, though, don't forget, has the Blade Storm. Mitch, nice shot there. Will connect for another, but the paranoia is going to be too much for him to handle. Last player is now going to be Tenz here, looking to hold this round down for his team, but it doesn't happen. 9-3 in the half, but it could have been a lot worse for Cloud9.
I mean, I love the idea, right? Trying to go for the bait, trying to go for this same Viper's Pit on A and make them think they're going to be there, but they were wise to it, were Sentinels, and the incredible positioning just to ensure that it wasn't going to be an easy push onto B.
It wasn't even that they were wise to it. It was just that Sick was holding this aggressive angle in garage because he hasn't done that at all. So in case they sent one lurker there, he might get something out of it. But he got a double and location that the spike was down. So that was just the entire plan thrown to pieces at that point. So it was like a little bit of just a strat, but also just them, you know, hey, the luck of the moment.
Yeah, just good timing and good positioning, and that's what can make or break sometimes. But speaking of make or break, this is going to be a make or break round, and there we're going to see one of the important one-ways that are available from Viper. And Tenz has to go big here because there are 5 players walking towards him at B.
They're already going onto the site. The difference is that you can't do this against Tenz. He will get himself at least 1 or 2, and he does just that. Zombs is the last player left alive. The plan fell apart, but perhaps Zombs could bring it back from the brink of defeat. Shots are going out. Zombs ain't gonna happen. So already, this pistol round that they desperately needed, and already was an advantage from what, or an improvement, excuse me, from what they did in their game against Renegades. Because I don't want to remind everyone, but they didn't win a single defensive round.
And that pistol is massive, GB. I mean, I was wondering whether Sentinels might consider just forcing up here, but maybe that gifts Cloud9 too much confidence and too much of a ticket back into this map. But now Cloud9 should be able to make this 9-5. It's going to be an aggressive A push from Sentinels now. They're going to try and go fast and furious onto site, but they're going to be running right into Cypher traps that have been laid for them over at A.
2 shots going out. Shinobi's going to back away. Relyks is there to send some paint shells forward so that he can send them back. Mitch on the flank, but they're going to anticipate this one surely. Oh, Mitch! Hey, well done, Mitch. They have all that information that they're looking to double back so they can comfortably push forward here.
And the good thing is Mitch can go for that flank because he only buys a ghost in round 2, because obviously he's saving for that op in round 3. And just think about this. Defensive side split for Cloud9 with Mitch and with Tenz both having ops. They need to get their economy in a state where they can comfortably buy up those ops, and there's no reason why they can't bring this back. GB, I'm just going to plant that seed yet again.
Dan, stop it.
No.
Don't give me hope. Okay? Don't give me hope.
All right, what round do you need to see Cloud9 get to before you really believe they can make a game of this?
7.
Okay. I will be back with that same conversation when they get to 7.
All right, well, the push is now going to come through fast and heavy right through the A site. Shinobi and Relyks. There goes Relyks by the screen. Well done, my friend. That's 5. Just crawling out of this muddy, disgusting pit where everyone threw their garbage into. This is where all the Viper mains are currently, and they're just trying to claw their way out.
I mean, regardless of like whether Viper is the right or the wrong pick right now, Tenz has still got 13 frags. He's still top fragging. This is another great one way, by the way.
It doesn't change.
Exactly, yeah. He's still going to have the aim ability, right? But now, imagine if they start pushing him where he does have the one-ways just to spray them down. Like, that is a very scary factor. So I think that Sentinels are going to have to try and avoid Tenz in certain areas. But Mitch is going to be the star player here for Cloud9 in this round because he has the op. He can be the difference maker.
And you are aware, if you're Sentinels, that Mitch has this. Every game, every VOD, every single moment he does that. It is no surprise.
But look how, again, he's solo holding a... Well, kind of solo holding a site. Actually, he has support from the Omen, but
Ooh.
he is going to try and take himself away from the rest of the team because if they go the other way, Mitch just needs to save this op. Even if they don't win this round, as long as he survives, that's where this becomes important. He is going to catch one, though. That's going to be huge. But the trade does come out from Sick, which you could argue is even bigger.
Shinobi advances forward. All those footsteps. Freely can continue to push forward. ShahZaM, hard commit here on mid. He's coming right behind him. Shinobi's right behind him. He has a Bulldog. It might be enough. Vice can actually slow this thing down.
They found my wire.
They're going to slow this thing down. Vice just has to do some work here just to get at least 1 or 2 kills. Site's going to be wide open. And he gets through this. They have no idea that he's behind them. Gets 1 kill. Paranoia is out. That guy can't see anything. But so can't Shinobi because of that talk screen was there at the worst place. But Tenz good for the kill. Zombs now. No, it's Cloud9. They are getting another round on the board here, ladies and gentlemen. Shinobi was a superstar at that round. What he did there, following up after Mitch died, was awesome.
So 7 rounds, you said, huh? So, no, I'm just trying to remind myself. 7 rounds, you said. Okay, just bearing that in mind now as we see Sentinels on an eco round and Cloud9 with the op yet again on Mitch. And 3 rifles, just the 1 Bulldog for Relyks. But it means that Relyks has such a healthy bank balance right now. It's going to be a default setup for Sentinels. They are going to spread themselves out just to see if they can catch anyone from Cloud9 off guard. Maybe getting a little bit promiscuous down middle.
I just can't believe that they've been able to bring this one back. But it's been a combination of some playmakers. Mitch with his first bloods. He's done that so many times at this point. ShahZaM will tailwind through this one and will get picked off by Shinobi waiting on top of the box. He was just chomping at the bit to get that opportunity, and it paid off big time.
Ooh. They've got so much available for them now. Like, look at all that utility that just keeps them in B garage. This has been locked down. 4 versus 2. and it should be the round for Cloud9, which makes it 9-7, which makes things look so much nicer compared to the 8-0 that it was during the first half. I think it's just important that Cloud9 don't give away any guns at this point.
My camera is destroyed.
Now, I'm sure there's like a Sentinel fan or two in the chat right now that's saying fire Goldenboy, and that's perfectly reasonable. I would as well, but understand that the way that this game has gone.
No heart.
Okay, Vice. The way that this game has gone, it's Cloud9 in those first few rounds, 8 straight, Gaskin, 8 rounds straight. That will impact anyone, but now are 9-7.
So now you have a little bit of belief, right? Just a little.
I do. Yes, I do.
But
I do believe that Sentinels are far from out of this.
Oh no, Sentinels still are in such a commanding position and still should win this game. But what Cloud9 can do is exactly what Sentinels did to them, and is destroy their bank balance over and over and over, so that they can't consistently have an op. This is going to be the first round for Sentinels to get ShahZaM on that jet on the op. If he goes big here, it could potentially be a round-winning kill that he picks up, which could potentially be a map-winning and tournament-winning kill. So Sentinels, this is a huge round for them.
Yeah, and with MR12, your timing, right? You don't have a lot of time to click with this. Mitch, an angle again! Oh! Again, Mitch! Man!
I mean, I said how important the op's going to be, but for Mitch to win that fight, I cannot stress enough that that is arguably the biggest kill for Mitch so far in this final. Sinatraa, though, has found his way up to ramp and is in a very scary position if Cloud9 decide, hey, let's go check, see what's happening down ramp's way.
But I don't think they will, because the strategy so far has just been play back, let them make the mistake. Well, Vice did go and challenge, and he is going to pay for his life. Relyks going back to a familiar position. There goes the blast pack. Will do some damage, though, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. Now Sinatra's in the best possible spot. He hasn't moved at all. He's perfectly fine exactly where he's going to be. In case people want to get a little gully inside of heaven, he will be there to receive them with glee.
You will not kill my ally.
Zombs kills Vice instantly as soon as he's going to be brought back. Tenz onto the site. No kills for him. Only one player left alive, and it's Shinobi. Perhaps their luck could be changing here, but you got a lot of weak members of Sentinels still looking to hold this thing down, or at least one weak member that's going to be located right next to the spike. Shinobi has been peaked, and finally, Sentinels, they will end this reign of terror that Cloud9 has put forth on them. And they will get 10 rounds in the board, but jeez, that was looking scary for a moment.
And the money, I mean, is still a little bit iffy on the side of Sentinels. They do have enough to make it work, and of course, we do see another op coming out for ShahZaM. It's going to be the half buy in terms of armor for Sinatraa, unless, of course, that's just the visual bug where he's just carrying it over from before, but that doesn't matter. 10-7. And Cloud9 have to respond here. I feel like if this goes 11-7, we're probably going to be looking at game. But 10-8, I think Cloud9 is still very much in it. Viper's Pit now available on the side of Tenz. We've also got Neural Theft there, a teleport for Omen 2. There is also the res on the side of Sentinels, and that could change everything.
Poison's off.
They're checking left here.
Poison orb emitting.
The dark cover forces Tenz to play further up, which will make it more challenging for him if he decides to drop back. Yeah, or he will have to drop back, excuse me. A little choice there. He was far too committed on that. We're still hanging out on A site, though. There goes the push. Relyks from downtown.
You will not kill my ally.
Trying to get him back for another. Sick gets the res off on ShahZaM and also gets the follow-up kill. That's going to be 2 kills here. Sinatraa all the way back toward A screens. 8 HP. And Gaskin, now this is where I start to get a little concerned for Cloud9.
Yep. Once it turns to 11 and once you start to eat away at the economy of Cloud9, things start to get a little bit tricky
That
for
was an
them.
expensive round.
It was indeed. It's going to be 3 rifles to work with. Maybe 4 actually, and 1 SMG for Cloud9. And if they lose this round, it's game over, I'm afraid. It'll be match point, it'll be tournament point for Sentinels. As much as I was all for the possibilities of a comeback, a lot of it rides on this round. Still possible, but looking less and less likely the
Relyks
more that
is gonna go for
Sentinels
it.
get back into things.
I think it was called out. Thought Relyks was actually going to go for that play.
There.
Man, this tension is insane because at first I believed that Relyks was just going to try and push forward, show stop, right? Like, who knows? He has it available to him. No first blood. Arguably the most important first blood here in the second half.
Sentinels doing very well just to keep themselves separated because of this showstopper. Shinobi gets a little bit of information using his ultimate, but here comes ShahZaM, tries to go for the no scope, the quit scope. It didn't matter what scope it was, he didn't get the kill. And as we tick down, 45 seconds left, so time running out for this push. The Sentinels need to make up their mind as to where they want to go soon.
Welcome to my world.
Further stall with the Viper's Pit. Potentially he's going to be sent over toward heaven. So now they really don't have a choice when they get up on there. Mitch is going to be banged up, bloodied and bruised. Will be able to get out of dodge with that one, but his teammate died around him. Tenz working around inside, and ShahZaM! What a kill from ShahZaM! Mitch with 22 HP. He's surrounded by so many players. This is one of the most important rounds, but Relyks gets shut down. ShahZaM, what a kill for him. It's now just Shinobi. Last player left alive, and that is going to be match point, series point, and tournament point. Sentinels 1 round away from being your PAX Arena champions.
And hats off to ShahZaM. He has won that round for Sentinels and has shut down not only a couple of the players on the site, not only the Viper in the Viper's Pit, not only the showstopper, but he maybe has just shut down Cloud9 completely in this tournament. And we now need to see absolutely perfect Valorant being played from Cloud9. They need 5 on the bounce to take this to overtime, and their money is not great.
And maybe you're going to try and get aggressive, but so is Shinobi! Shinobi with 2 kills! Hey, if someone needs to make a play, it better be the IGL in that instance. ShahZaM's going to charge all the way up here. Still has the op, also did pop the ultimate as well. Man advantage will go to Cloud9 as they're holding on to a prayer here in order to keep the drive alive in the PAX Arena Grand Finals.
This angle is so sneaky from ShahZaM as well. If there is even the slightest peek from Relyks, oh, but he's going to reposition. Maybe he didn't realize there was a player on elbow, but he does scout his way back over there. Does have the ultimate available, but Vice outs him with the Bulldog. A huge kill to keep this round and this map alive for Cloud9. Mitch will get one of his own. Sick does trade, but he is the last remaining player in a 1 versus 3. And I think Cloud9 are just about going to stay alive here.
At least for the time being. 1v3. Sick inside of heaven. B-site's going to be open, and Tenz will meet him. Oh boy, this actually changes things up quite a bit. Sick with this kill, now the wall's down. He can get this spike off. A 1v2, but no armor. So doesn't have the cushion of the 50 HP that would be remaining. And also nowhere for him to be able to res his teammates so that they can put an exclamation mark at the end of this competition. But how amazing would it be if Sick manages to clutch up a 1v2 here when all hope appeared to be lost, and it was Sick, the battle sage, to win this one out. Player's going to be located on the site. Sick now in a 1v1. Oh no! And Sick, I cannot believe it. Sick gets it, and your champions of PAX Arena are Sentinels.
every time I thought that Cloud9 might have just about survived, someone from Sentinels stepped up. And that is why they're your champions, because time and time again, we had clutch moments. We had so much ability shown from this squad. I'm so impressed with the Sentinels lineup that has won this tournament. Shout out to Cloud9 though, for making that one of the most